5 o'clock Tuesday morning, and we begin with the very latest on this overnight breaking news in Providence. If you're just waking up, a number of people started gathering near the mall around midnight. Protests did start peacefully, then quickly escalated and turned violent. In this video, you can see a Providence City police cruiser, an SUV, was set on fire.
Yeah, there's a lot of details to sort through. We'll be getting to our reporters, Caroline Goggin, Brandon Truitt, in just a moment. On this Tuesday, it's June the 2nd. I'm Danielle North.
And I'm Patrick Little. The scene in Providence overnight, really just surreal.
Yeah.
Large groups of people smashing storefronts and, as you saw, torching that police vehicle.
Another group actually managed to make its way inside of Providence Place Mall. We want to check in first with Eyewitness News reporter Brandon Truitt. He is live near the State House with the very latest. Actually, you're outside of the mall right now, Brandon.
Right, Danielle, we've actually been able to move our location. Right now, state police have a perimeter, one of the largest that I've ever seen. From the mall to the State House to North Main Street, all blocked off, and we are now inside that bubble. We have moved down to really the epicenter of the chaos. This is what was a Providence police vehicle. This is what's left of it, essentially just a skeleton at this point. And I want to bring you over to show you a little bit more of the damage here. You can see some of the debris all over the road. Police here are still working and surveying this scene. This is something that spread for blocks, and right now we are in the epicenter. As the sun is coming up, we're getting a better look at exactly what is left behind. I want to take you to some of the video though and show you how this started. What was essentially peaceful protest, at least for a couple of minutes. Right now you're looking at video of when protesters met police in the middle of Francis Street. This is outside of Providence Place Mall just before 12:30 this morning. You can hear them chanting Black Lives Matter and taking a knee in front of police. At the time, police didn't seem to engage with any of this. They were just monitoring this situation. And then came this, the crowd beginning to disperse, but things quickly began to escalate. From there, we saw dozens of protesters actually entering the mall, breaking in there. You can see several of them actually running past the windows. They were setting off what looked to be fireworks inside the mall. Some came away stealing iPhones and other products. Again, we still have a rough glance at the damage done inside the mall as we're not able to get in there. Colonel Manning tells us at least 10 people have been arrested with this. After about 5 or 10 minutes, though, we saw at least 5 on our own be put in handcuffs. I want to take you to this next video where protesters started to get even more violent, smashing car windows in, and then they lit that police cruiser on fire. This was the scene here that we are standing out now, where police ultimately had to fire tear gas multiple times at those protesters. Essentially, then they were able to disperse them. I want to bring you back out live as you are seeing what is a multi-state agency response to this. You're seeing Massachusetts State Police alongside Rhode Island State Police and, of course, Providence Police here as they begin to kind of piece together what has happened. Again, want to take you back to that car, what is left, the skeleton behind of this, what was a Providence police cruiser, now just left here. We have been seeing people out of the Providence police, rather, taking pictures of this, surveying the scene. They have a lot to process. In the skies, also, we had been seeing Massachusetts State Police helicopters that have been surveying here. There is a lot of work ahead of them, a lot of cleanup to do. I can tell you that we have been seeing buildings smashed, windows smashed as well. And so, Patrick and Danielle, there's still a lot to be done here. We did speak with Colonel James Manning this morning. He was talking about this, and he told us that they got a heads up about this around dinner time last night, that something was going to happen. When we asked him what he thought of these protests, he quickly corrected us and said these were not protests.
This was a mob. These were not protesters. This was an intentional, coordinated attack on the city. And so once gas was deployed, they dispersed into the streets, into the neighborhoods, and that's what we're doing now. We're rounding them up, and this is substantial damage to vehicles and buildings.
And so that roundup continues. The assessment of the damage continues this morning. There is a lot of work ahead of them. We asked Colonel Manning about where they go from here. He is concerned there could be more of this, saying that he has heard of plans of others, did not give us a timeline as to when those could happen. But certainly it's an escalated scene here. It is tense. It was tense overnight. It is tense now as this entire greater area of downtown Providence is essentially blocked off. We're going to continue to monitor from our viewpoint here as they assess the damage. We're going to bring you these live images all morning long. Live in Providence, Brandon Truitt, Eyewitness News.
Seeing downtown, very widespread right now.
Also new in the last hour, we have learned that in addition to storefronts, the DCYF offices in Providence were also targeted by vandals. Eyewitness News reporter Caroline Goggin is live along Westminster Street with an update. Good morning, Caroline.
Good morning, Danielle and Patrick. I'm joining you on Doran Street, not far from the corner of Westminster Street, after what I would describe as a violent, chaotic, and truly just a sad night here for the city of Providence. I am one of 7 members of the Eyewitness News team who was at last night's riot and witnessed everything firsthand. It was truly a violent night in the city. Started off peaceful and then turned violent, as Eyewitness News reporter Brendan Truitt explained. And the destruction, about a half a mile from here at Providence Place Mall, it also extended down here to downtown Providence. Again, we are on Doran Street, not far from Providence City Hall. You can see the Spank Newport right here. The front window was broken in. And I want to take you down to Westminster Street right now. Westminster Street was heavily damaged by looters and rioters here in Providence tonight. Again, they marched about a half mile from here, from the Providence Place Mall, down past City Hall to downtown Providence, Doran Street, Westminster. And as you guys had mentioned, DCYF, which is on Friendship Street, not far from here, we were just over there in the last half hour. There is a state vehicle that was burned, and several state vehicles, their windows were damaged and punched out. As you can see right now, the TD Bank right here, they had damage to the outside of their building. They're repairing this morning. If we come down here, you can see all of these people here on Westminster Street outside of these businesses. They're working to repair damage to businesses overnight. A lot of businesses were broken into. There was looting that happened along Westminster Street. And these scenes have played out throughout the city of Providence after a very, again, violent and chaotic night in the city. Again, Colonel James Manny from the Rhode Island State Police says this was a coordinated attack by a mob here in the city of Providence. And he says right now Rhode Island State Police is going to prepare with Providence Police and police agencies across the state of Rhode Island for what could come next and a possible riot that could come later this week. Reporting live in Providence, I'm Caroline Goggin, Eyewitness News.